Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? If you guys remember, during the past 2 or 3 episodes, we have been focused on making the Ultimate Star. Just 2 of them for the moment, and we're just missing 3 items: Awakened Unobtainium Vibranium Alloy Block, the Philosopher's Fuel, and the Improbable Probability device. We're gonna focus on the Philosopher's Fuel because that's going to be difficult. The first thing that we are going to do is that we're going to make a massive reactor from the Extreme Reactors mod. In this version of the mod, there are 2 types of reactors. One of them is the basic one, which can be only a maximum size of 5 by 5 by 5. The reinforced version, however, can be as big as we want. And the only difference is that, well, you need steel. And the reason that I know that is that I have already made a reactor and it didn't work. One of my biggest problems is crafting a ton of steel. Maybe GregTech is gonna help? Yeah, it's every 3 ticks. That's not bad. No, I think I should be able to order the reinforced version. Because you see, for some reason, mechanism is incredibly slow. I'm also going to be quite honest with you, this is going to be the most inefficient reactor you have ever seen. Its goal is not to generate power, and besides, from next episode we don't really care about the power anyways, because we will have our creative energy cell. The only thing that we need from this is cyanite. So it has to be hot and wasteful. I made it in a chunk, it is 15 by 15 and it is 5 blocks tall. Internally, I'm going to fill it in with fuel rods, and we shall top it off with some control rods. Did I make it correctly? Yeah. 169. We shall have 1 controller, 1 energy tap, and 2 access ports, maybe with a 1 block gap, just in case. Reactors are also incredibly laggy if you use glass, so we're just gonna surround everything with casing. We're missing a few blocks. What did I miss? Oh, okay. You can't click there. Just the controller. Since I have switched the laser drills, our supply of uranium is not that bad. Let's give it 4 blocks? 4 stacks of blocks? And you're not even full? Okay, finally it's full. We want one of the ports to be output, so yeah. And let us hope that they did not add explosions. How do you turn it on? Well, it is on. Nothing's happening. Okay, that was my boo-boo. I pressed the emergency shutdown. And what that basically does is that it will put the control rods to 100% so the reactor won't work. For the moment, let us have an energy trash and let you run. You're not voiding the power, but we are getting cyanite. To be honest with you, it's not as fast as I was thinking. It takes a few seconds. This might have to run for a while. This is just a curiosity thing. What if we make it taller? I really want the waist. According to the wiki, this can be 256 by 256, but I think that's going to be an overkill. We will just go with whatever the hell this is. It's 15 blocks tall, so is it better? Well, we are getting more waste, so that's good. I would say it's twice as fast. Still not amazing. Oh my goodness, you have no idea what kind of a stupid rabbit hole this is going to be. So first off, we need a reprocessor, and it's no longer a block, it's a multi-block. And that requires a ton of cyanite, which we don't really have, but let's see how far we can go. There's a huge chain of ingots that we have to prepare. And each 4 gives you 1 block. Okay, let me get the blocks. You know, as usual, my biggest concern is that we just need to make this machine for like 1 episode. Then it's going to be redundant and we never have to use it. This is the first time that I'm making this machine and I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's a 3 by 3 by 7. And we don't have that many casings, but let's see how far we can go. It does require a controller, obviously. And then there are some parts that we have to add. One of them is power. I'm assuming that makes sense, but we can put it on the top. Then there is a reprocessor waste injector. We will have 1 block gap. And the fluid injector. Just in case, we are also going to have 2 ports. Power tap goes on top, and I think we just have to cover the rest. We don't really get that much cyanide is the problem. I got all the parts, and there has been a few boo-boos. Every single block that you see over here, the special ones, have a requirement. For example, the stupid collector has to be in the bottom slot. The waste injector has to be on the top. Fluid injector has to be on the side. Output port on the side. And power port on the side. Oh, and by the way, if it's not obvious, which it's really not obvious, the center has to be hollow. And yes, only 1 output port, nothing more. Now it should be fine. First things first, we need to convert cyanite into plutonium, correct? That requires water, so I guess it goes over there. Fluid injector. Now you should have water, perfect. We need to provide it with power, and I guess cyanite goes from here, the top. Are you doing anything? We turn you on. Okay, that's plutonium. Perfect. That comes to the output hatch. Yeah, you might notice a few changes. Yes, I have been playing with the configuration of the reactor and, well, it's not great. Because at first I thought there is a math to inefficiency, but no, there's only math involved if you want to be efficient. So I can make a ton of power. The burn rate is not going to be amazing. And honestly speaking, for me, Burn rate is the most important thing. And yes, don't ask me why, we are also using netherite. Anyways, the goal is simple. The core has to be super hot, and at this very moment, there are not going to be any moderators. Another thing that I have realized is that in the recent version of the bigger reactors mod or extreme reactors or whatever the hell this is called, you don't have to put the fuel rods vertically. Do you see the control rods? They have 4 sides now, so you can put them horizontally. Does it make any difference? Probably not. It's just for fun, I guess. Judging by its size, you might notice that we're producing way less power, but the conversion rate has increased. That is because the core heat is increasing, and you have no idea how much uranium I have wasted. We're getting cyanite at a decent rate again, and we're also producing plutonium. I just need to AFK for a while because you have no idea how much cyanite I need. It has been a while later, I did AFK a bit, we have tons of cyanide, and we also have 2 brand new machines. Well, not both of them are brand new, this is an extra reprocessor, and this one is called a fluidizer. It's a bit of a pain to make, but it was cheap, and it didn't have that many requirements. Basically, now that we have cyanide and plutonium, our job is to start making ludicrite. We just need molten cyanide, the cyanide goes into the solid injector on the fluidizer, and we get molten cyanide. That goes into the output port and we need a pipe. That should be it, right? Yes, instead of water, now we have molten cyanide, meaning that if we put some plutonium inside the reprocessor, we should get ludicrite if we turn it on. Yes. Hello? Not interested? Yes, ludicrite. Very good. So I'm assuming there has been a teeny tiny bit of a change because after ludicrite, we need something called ridiculite, which requires something called magentite. Is it a misspelling? I don't know. The magentite ingot does not have a recipe. What has a recipe is the reactant, which is a fluid. So my main assumption is that we need to convert plutonium into a fluid, then put it inside the reactor and we will get magentite. How do we do that? I don't know. We don't need plutonium. We can use plutonium from GregTech. So when you eject the fuel instead of uranium, you will get yellorium. I don't know why. But we also have some ludicrite. The reason that I'm happy with plutonium is that we have tons of plutonium. For plutonium, I actually have to wait. This one, we don't really care. We just melt it. Anyways, I believe in order to achieve that, what we need to do is that we need 2 additional ports. These are going to be fuel injection ports on the reactor and they will accept fluids. So this is input, that is output. Why is it red? I don't know. I put the solid plutonium inside the reactor and yes, we're getting magentite. You can also put plutonium, but I had plutonium, so why not? Let us put some more. It will increase the reactivity, so everything is going to be way faster. Yeah, we're getting it very slowly. That means very soon we should be able to make the ridiculite and then somehow make the Insanite. They just came up with names. They should add Lashmak. It's purple, it's uncurable, and it will give you poison for 2 hours and will dissolve your hands, so you can't pick anything up. So we have almost 60 buckets of magentite, but I think we need to do some calculations. In order to make 20 all the mod stars, we're going to need 20 Insanite blocks, correct? That means we need 160 Insanite, which is a whole other issue, so let's forget about that one. But we also need 20 blocks of Insanite. That means we need 160 Insanite ingots, 320 ridiculite ingots, 640 ludicrite, 1280 plutonium, and 2600 cyanide. That is the bare minimum. How much do we have? 192. Some of them are being processed into plutonium, so yeah, we do have a bit. So maybe we should remove the fuel from the reactor and apparently instead of plutonium we get plutonium. It's good. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I was going to say let us make cyanide, but now it doesn't make any sense because I can convert to plutonium. It's fine. We cheat. In this way, getting the plutonium is actually going to be way easier. Basically, what is going to happen is that I have made a recipe for plutonium blocks, right? And the way that we are going to cheat a little bit is that we're going to drop them inside the reactor. It's not cheating. We did GregTech for a purpose. Then we turn the reactor off and then we eject the fuel. And instead we're going to get plutonium. Also, it does seem that it's eating some of my plutonium. Yeah, it gives you half of that. But basically, instead of waiting and AFKing for the reactor, we have 1,400 plutonium. That's a good start. Now I can use the reactor for things that matter. Instead of, I don't know, waiting 2 hours for cyanide. I have just been editing the footage and I realized I sounded a bit confusing. So let me try to enlighten you with darkness. Oh, it's dark. Nice. It doesn't last long. Plutonium from extreme reactors has the same ore dictionary as plutonium from GregTech. You see, if you break down plutonium inside a dissolver, you will actually get plutonium. The way that you get plutonium is a bit painful because you need to let the reactor run for a very long time in order to get cyanide. And well, you need 2 cyanide in order to make 1 plutonium. So what I'm doing is that I'm manually putting plutonium from GregTech inside the reactor and the reactor is thinking, oh, that is plutonium. The same way that if you put uranium inside, it will think that it's yellorium, so when you eject the fuel, it will give you yellorium ingots. Then I ejected the fuel, and instead of getting plutonium back, I got plutonium back. And yes, I got a ton of plutonium. So what we did is that by changing the ore dictionary of plutonium into plutonium, we skipped the part with cyanide and plutonium. And we don't need 1280 plutonium because we already have it. It's inside this chest, and it's being converted into ludocrite. We need exactly 10 stacks. We will go with 11 just in case. And while ludocrite is being processed, the reactor is working on some plutonium, and in return we're getting magentite. We need magentite in order to make the ridiculite, and we need 320 buckets. And yes, we're doing garbage. But it's fine, we have plenty of plutonium, we have plenty of time, so this should be ready in time. I'm going to AFK until we get enough magentite, and I'll see you right back. I was supposed to AFK for a while, but the problem is that our supply of ludocrite is ready. I removed the rest of the plutonium because we don't really need more. We needed 10 stacks of ludocrite, and we have 10 stacks and 11, which is an odd number. We keep this one for decorations. I guess before I go on AFK, we can take the magentite, entangle it to an entangled block, put it inside the processor, and start processing ludocrite. Right? And that gives us ridiculite. Can we just call them by colors, because I'm tired of naming them. It's getting very confusing. We need only 320 of them, so that's like 5 stacks. Maximum. This supply is not going to be enough, so I do have to AFK a bit. Actually, I just had a thought. Why would you be AFK when you can be productive? Let's focus on something else. The improbable probability device. We can't make all 20 of that because of antimatter, but we should be able to make 2 of them, but we will have all the other parts ready. So first things first, we need 20 diamond chest plates, 20 netherite ingots, and I guess 20 smithing templates, which we don't have. How do you dupe them? Okay, we just make a bunch. Yeah. That's probably more than enough. We need to upgrade all of them into netherite chestplates, so there you go. And now we need to have a pattern for the jet suit. This is from Ad Astra. We need 20 of it, so it's gonna take a bunch of resources. And I think... oh my goodness, we have a lot. Okay, we shouldn't be worried. I have set up the patterns, and unfortunately the only thing that the system cannot craft are oxygen tanks. So I had to craft them manually. We're missing 10. 9? Oh, come on. I hate it when that happens. 10. Now it can craft it. Finally. Thank you. I have made all the plates manually. It wasn't a horrible job. However, in the improbable probability device, we also have a huge storage part, which is the 1048 one. I don't even have that for myself. I'm going to be very honest with you. There is a very high chance that we can't craft this. I mean, not all 20 of them at the same time, because this is the highest one that I have been making, and it's very expensive. So the 1048k, we need 20 of them. You need 500,000 string. For what? Can you give me 2? Why do you need so much oh, I know why you need so much quartz. Thankfully, we have some cheaty silicon from GregTech. And a lot. Well, technically speaking, it's not the silicon, it's the Certus quartz. I thought last episode was the hard part. Gaze into my eyes. Mesmerizing. No, these are the eyes of a person who just realized how futile his efforts were. Because in order to make one of these storage parts, we're missing 181,000 quartz. And I had 26,000 dust, so yeah. So I don't really want to use mystical agriculture, I want to try something with Botania. If you have a conjuration catalyst, you can double your quartz. How much does it consume? Oh, and by the way, we're missing 180,000 just for like one storage part. For 20, I don't really want to know. Also, I'm not really going to do everything like this. I just want to see when the mana runs out. So Botania is not the way, because we ran out of mana and we got 6,000 quartz. Good to know. Does anybody drop quartz? Well, I brought a quarry, and it has a filter so that it will only mine quartz. Not sure if we should have silk touched it, because then I can fortune it with fortune 8. We want you to be 512, 256, 512. You should be a box, you should be solid. It's not amazing, but it's not that bad. We shall import it into our QIO network, and the place is chunk loaded. So yeah, here we're fortuning it. I'm assuming that's going to be a bit better. It's not that bad. Remember, we don't really need 1.8 million today, we just need like 180,000 for one, and by next episode we should have both of them. The moment I left the nether, the quarry stopped working because I think it couldn't break a block, and probably that was a chest. So I had to enable this option, don't wait on a position if the operation is not possible. While we are waiting on the progress of the quartz, we need to make the flight module as well, and that requires ghasts. 20 of them to be exact. The problem is that I used the syringe, I killed 2 ghasts, and it's not even full. So now the question is, can we heal them? No, you can't. Yeah, you can heal the ghast. So we can heal him, then take a sample. It's gonna be very annoying. Yes, very annoying. You come with me. This is a bit better. I do have a stasis chamber. I have the tablet of restoration. We poke, we wait. We poke, we wait. I do a lot of damage. Why? Increases damage dealt by the wearer. Okay, we don't want that. Much better. This should actually be easier than I was expecting, because now I can just continuously punch him. I have set up the patterns, but the system cannot recognize the syringe. So let us get the templates ourselves, and then we can just craft it ourselves. Yeah, that was easy. Oh, it only stacks to 16. Okay, minus the storage part, I think we're almost good to go. Oh my goodness, you still need 170,000. It's okay, we still have 10 hours until the end of the episode. But I was trying to set up patterns in order to make the improbable probability device, and I noticed a slight problem. So we have the jet suit, the computer is going to be fine, antimatter is going to be fine, at least for 2 of them. Storage hopefully is going to be fine, but the battery was not stacking. I do have a recipe for nitro batteries, but unfortunately they have to be full. And I have already ordered 40 of them, so let's fill them in. I think in the induction matrix it's gonna be easy. No. Oh boy. Do you know why? We're at the power cap. It can't transfer anything more, so let's have more providers. Now it should be faster? Maybe. I want to order more providers, but I think it's gonna take a bajillion years. I just realized my boo-boo. It's not the provider. The battery itself has a cap of 2 million RF. It's fine, we can use flux networks. I can hold them in my inventory. Main inventory disabled. Why? Okay, it's fine. If I hold something in my offhand, we can do 10 at a time. The batteries have been fully charged. For our next fuel, I'm actually smelting down some plutonium, and I just realized something. In the probable improbability device, this doesn't have to be for items, it can be for fluids. I don't really know why, but I already had it on auto-crafting, so we're using it, and the difference between them is night and day. Because you might notice if I want to order 20 of them, we're just missing 40,000 quartz. That's nothing. Let's make the one. I have already crafted the rest of the items, so we're just waiting for the storage part. It's a good thing I checked. I was checking if the ME one is cheaper. You do take ages to craft. Okay. You just have to look. So can I have my improbable? Yes, we have it. Can I have another one? Well, honestly speaking, who cares? We can have a pattern for later on. That, ladies and gentlemen, goes over there. Anyways, let's get back to our main grind, which is this stupid thing. We need something called rosinite, which is red, but over here it's blue. I don't know why. Which apparently we have to give a fluid to our reactor called verderium. How do you make it? Well, it's a combination of plutonium and yellorium, or a combination of yellorium and plutonium. Amazing. How much plutonium did I put inside? My goodness. Getting back to extreme reactors, I have noticed that if you put blocks inside, you will get the fluid faster. Another thing that I have noticed is that you didn't really have to make the fluids first. You could have just used the blocks, but it's fine, we're going with this recipe. Also, the ratio with yellorium to plutonium is 2:1. So I'm making 2 tanks of yellorium and 1 tank of plutonium. With the blocks, it's incredibly fast. Yellorium has been done, both tanks are full, and the output is also empty. I had to make some calculations. However, we need to change the operational mode of the fluidizer. So, what do? We want the fluid mixing mode, mixes 2 fluids. You need 2 and only 2 fluid injectors. So we don't need the solid injector, 1 fluid injector, and the second one. Do you work? Yes. So we just need to pump in the plutonium and yellorium, and that should give us a few tanks of rosinite. Let's see if it actually works. Not rosinite, verderium. Oh, you have to turn it on. Okay, we're getting it. We have 2 buckets. Do you auto output? No. I think this is the next tier of fuel that has to go inside our reactor. If that is the case, let us have an entangled block, and as usual, put it inside our reactor. You're not getting the fuel. Wait a minute. So here it says that the fuel is empty, but here we have something. So I can turn you on and something should happen. Okay, I have solved the stupid problem. This is rosinite. The thing is, there was a teeny tiny bit of fuel left in the reactor, and I just voided the reactants. Now it is taking in the verderium, and it's giving us rosinite. Very slowly. The production is incredibly slow, because for some reason, I forgot the pipe. Now it is much better. And thankfully, this is the final fluid that we need, I think. Yeah, rosinite. Exactly. This is the one that we have, right? So far, so good. It's just going to be a very slow process. I can't do much. I'm sorry. A bit of AFKing later, I think we have a decent supply. Judging by the amount of yellorium and plutonium that we have, we should have 2 full tanks. But to get us started, that should be plenty. So let us get the radiculite, and this should start converting it. if we turn it on, yes. And now we're getting Insanite. We are basically done. The only thing that we have to craft is some Insanite, which does require a crazy amount of these things. Otherwise, the stupid fluid is the same. So let's remove all of these stupid things from the list. That was too many. For getting the crystal, we can use the digital miner. It's just that I'm harvesting it manually. We do need a lot. So it might sound a bit stupid, but I'm also looking for other things. Because one of the things that we need is the crimson iron in order to make the philosopher's fuel. Also a bit of extra vibranium. Besides, the crystal is actually very common. It's everywhere. Wait a minute. You're in LA. Why is it here? Well, you're coming home with me, because I have never used you in my life. After I get the old mod star, we will figure out what to do with him. I have been hoping for better results on vibranium, but at least we got 2000 crystals. Every 16 of them is going to give us 1 Insanite, if I'm not wrong. Oh, we got 1. Nice. So let us get 20 of the red blocks. I have not miscalculated. We have 2 extra. And I'm assuming with the amount of crystals that we have, we should be able to get our Insanite blocks. This has been a horrifying experience. It's like getting Californium 250 from nuclear craft in 1 day. But there are other things that we need as well, which I have already set patterns for them. For example, the Ender generator. Seems to be like the rainbow generator. We need 20 of them, so there you go. And we also need to have the rainbow furnace, 20 of them. Oh, we're missing dyes. I set the patterns, not for the dyes. I just managed to get the dyes, so let's see if we can craft 20 furnaces. Yes. Craft it then. Oh, it's ready. So despite our progress, there is a very high chance that I can't really finish the philosopher fuel today. Because yeah, some things like the Diorum block are quite easy. You know, I think we should be able to order 20 of them. It's on auto crafting anyways. The Tyrian steel should be relatively easy. The problem are these. Basically anything that requires mystical agriculture. Also yeah, I do understand that one of them is Insanium coal block, but I think we should be able to make one. Yeah, it's cheap. We can even have 2 blocks. But at least I'm thinking that we are on schedule. Next episode we will have the old mod star. For the moment we don't really have any immediate solutions, but let's try something. I have already made 10 extra of these fluid storage parts. What is that? Oh, that was the ritual. I think we need 8 more. Yes, we have all the quartz. Therefore, the builder doesn't really have to work in the nether. We can take it to the overworld and mine some inferium. So I brought it in the overworld and I'm a teeny tiny bit confused. Nether quartz, inferium, they're blacklist. How did you get inferium then? We should not touch things that work. Oh, no. It's not working. Stop. It is the next day and I have prepared some altars from mystical agriculture. There are a few seeds that we absolutely have to craft. One of them is going to be the fire seed. Come on. Thank you. And you know, water, air, and earth. I'm not exactly sure if we are going to have enough inferium and insanium in order to continue, but we will see. For growing them, I don't think we are going to go super fancy. We're just going to use phytogenic insulators. And we just need the 4. And in the meantime, let us get like 5000 phyto grow. Niter is something that you shouldn't technically get, but we are actually getting it from our Morid miners. And apatite from GregTech is acceptable, so why not? I'm also doing it at our chemical plant because we want to use the warden. His soul. If we put the seeds inside the phytogenic insulator, there is a 0 chance of getting extra seeds. So we don't need to void them, we can use another speed upgrade. 1 resonant kit, 1 cyclical processing, so that, you know, it puts the seed back, and just 2 speed upgrades. I don't know if we're going to have enough sides, but let's see. Water from the bottom, I guess power from the side, key IO exporter for the actual phyto grow, and we should take a nap. Come on, sleep. Thank you. 0% chance for a seed. And yeah, I got a seed. We need some auxiliary cactus. Honestly, they don't need to go that fast. This is a fine speed. It's not one of those things that we need in the millions. I have set up the recipe for the Supremium furnace and well, we should be able to craft it. It's not that horrifying. The problem is we need the awakened Supremium furnace, which does require something special. Cognizant dust. How would you get it? It will be dropped by the Wither and the Ender Dragon when killed with an essence weapon enchanted with mystical enlightenment. So yeah, we need to waste some essence in order to make a stupid sword, and you don't know how to make a diamond sword, which is perfectly fine, but there you go. Supremium sword. What happened? Or did we get an advancement? So mystical enlightenment can be crafted, but I do have 1 book, which is really not amazing. Well, I guess let's put it on. Oops. 1 book. 2 book. 3 book. 4 book. 5 book. 6 book. 7 book. 8 book. 9 book. 10 book. 11 book. 12 book. 13 book. 14 book. 15 book. 16 book. 17 book. 18 book. 19 book. 20 book. 21 book. 22 book. 23 book. 24 book. 25 book. 26 book. 27 book. 28 book. 29 book. 30 book. 31 book. 32 book. 33 book. 34 book. 35 book. 36 book. 37 book. 38 book. 39 book. 40 book. 41 book. 42 book. 43 book. 44 book. 45 book. 46 book. 47 book. 48 book. 49 book. 50 book. 51 book. 52 book. 53 book. 54 book. 55 book. 56 book. 57 book. 58 book. 59 The anvil broke. We're gonna disenchant it with broth. And I don't know what really happened, but we didn't get the curses, but we have the mystical enlightenment. Just out of curiosity, can we do some enchantments? Worst ones ever, but okay. We want the mystical enlightenment anyways. I'm hoping we're going to get a decent supply of dust. Hello? We got 9. That was the worst sword ever. Maybe I should bring his health down with our main sword and just finish him off with this one? Okay. Maybe not. That was just one shot. I'm not sure how this system works, but every time we're getting 9. Since I am a semi-lazy person, I just killed the Wither 4 times. So I think we should be able to get 4 blocks of the Awakened Supremium. Actually, more. Let's not waste the Supremium, is the thing. We're just gonna get 4 blocks. That's it. Our main immediate goal is to get to all the mod stars, so let us get 2 furnaces. We don't waste the rest of the material. And I think this is the recipe? Yep, easy peasy. Oh, you... consume all the essence. Okay. So I have just done some calculations and no, unfortunately we can't really get the Alder mod star today. The best I can do is either getting the block of Tyrian steel or try to get the miniature Twilight Forest portal. Yes, the recipe seems simple, the problem is night metal, which I don't have. I think since this has already been a boring episode, we just go with Tyrian steel to make it a bit more boring. We keep the fun stuff for next one. In the nether, one of the things that I have been looking for was crimson iron ingot, you know, so that we can get crimson steel. That hopefully is going to give us something called the metal alloyer. Let's get 2. And now we need to take care of this recipe. So crimson steel, it's easy to get. Then we need the azure electrum, crushed shulker shell. Well, I don't have shulkers. It's fine, we can always learn about shulkers. This is the only end city that I ever found, and let's hope there are shulkers left. I heard something. Hello, beautiful. And you just go to hell. There's no way I explored everywhere. We didn't have flight that time. All I'm saying is that there should be at least 6 shulkers. Oh yeah, plenty. Did you just dupe? Nice. Also remember, we need 1 block per philosopher's stone, so we need 20 blocks. That's gonna require a lot of shulkers. That is actually a very expensive recipe if you think about it. Probably have enough data, I'm just trying to upgrade it as much as I can. It's basic. A bit more and it will be advanced. I think there are no more shulkers left, but since we are at the end, we're also looking for something special. Not you, this thing. Azure silver. It's not very special, but we need it in order to make the alloy. And I used to believe it's much more common. 35. Okay, I'm blind. It's common. Don't you worry. I'm hoping this is a decent supply, but I just realized that the Morit can also crush it. And yeah, it's somehow automatic. Another thing is that for the moment, we don't really need the Hydra. I think we just use the shulker, right? And remove some of the garbage. It's just an advanced tier, so percentage is garbage. Percentage is garbage, but we succeeded. Just the one. I'm not really sure how this alloy thingy works. You don't need power? So let us just get a bunch of crimson steel. What did we run out of? Oh yeah, it's crimson iron. It's fine. I have to go to the nether anyways. Some azure electrum, which also goes in. Don't work. Off. Nope. Some crushed shulker and some netherite. Oh, it gives you 4. That's actually nice. I go get more crimson garbage. I'm not exactly sure if the amount of crimson iron that I have is going to be enough, but last time that I gathered it, I didn't give it to the Morit. This time I'm going to do that, so it should be plenty. I'm assuming. Hello boys, why are you angry? Let me at least kill the child, then get angry. Jerks. Oh, and by the way, I have removed the reactor, and I did manage to get more crystals, so that should be the last of the Insanite. We have 14 blocks, so we need 6 more. And we have 4 ingots, let's put them here. I was just AFK here for a few minutes, and I just got myself a cup of coffee. We have our Insanite blocks, so everything from big reactors can go to hell. Oh, and by the way, this is like the laggiest machine ever, if it's not complete. We did manage to get 2 stacks of Tyrian steel. I'm waiting for more. It doesn't actually take that long because it gives you 4 per iteration, which is amazing. We need 20 blocks. That is 20 blocks from 4 stacks. Okay, I don't need you too. I guess I also don't really need the shulkers. We go with the Hydra. Oh, and we want the fiery blood for next episode, because I think it is a good time to wrap up this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, where we get the ultimate star. Bye bye.